I am offering $100,000 for the return of my hard drive. I was robbed by a Chilean jewelry heist gang run by a dude named Brian Herrera Maldonado, according to the police. The hard drive that you guys took looks exactly like this. If you guys return this to me, I will give you 100 grand. And I will throw in another 100 grand if you let me fight any one of the four that was in my home. Pick whichever one you want. You can have an attorney draft any kind of letter that you please, which I will sign, and it will have a legally binding commitment that I will not press charges. As you know from looking at the hard drive, it's just 5 years of photos of me with my children. They're from 2008 to 2012. You probably thought it had banking info, or you thought it was a crypto wallet. But when you looked at it, you realized it's just a dad and his kids. Hopefully, for your sake, you didn't throw it away, because if you did, that would suck for you. I know that you are all pathetic cowards. All four of you ran the minute I stepped into the house. And I know it must suck knowing that you are incapable of actually earning a living. And it must feel horrible that you know you aren't real men. I'm giving you a chance to get 200 grand in cash. You are pathetic punks. Come and prove me wrong and get paid. You know who I am from the hard drive. I'm in SoCal. It won't be hard to figure out which little cell of your losers has this EHD. Have one of your loser friends drop off a letter with next steps in my backyard. You seem to know it well, as the police tell me you case these homes for days. Get to it and let's do this. I wish people on, yes, both sides would get something. Politicians don't care about you. They are narcissists. They are people who wanted to go into showbiz but couldn't act or write scripts. They couldn't even direct. Politics is Hollywood for talentless hacks. You have got to stop believing what these people spoon feed you. They bank on our apathy, on our willful ignorance. They plan strategies around it. They laugh at us over it. They try to figure out how much they can get away with it because of it. They count on our blind support. Both parties do this. It is amazing how many people nowadays seem to have their identity so tied up in politics and the worship of narcissistic politicians. I can't figure out why. Maybe it's sports for people who suck at sports. I don't know. But I know this. Those who invest all of their spiritual energies in politics will reap the whirlwind. The evidence is all around us. The paroxysms of inchoate, infantile rage suffered by those who have turned fallible politicians into saviors and devils, godlike avatars of good versus evil. It is a classic case of Stockholm Syndrome. These chuckleheads think that they're heroes in their own personal battle of good versus evil. They view themselves as revolutionaries, but let's face it, they are passive-aggressive folks who have made politics the core of their identity. They are suffering from a pandemic that no one ever talks about. It's the pandemic of selective outrage and relative stupidity. Those of us who invest our spiritual energies in real people, like the ones who live next door, family and friends, or folks that live a couple miles over, and their parents at school, folks who are normal and sometimes awesomely weird, or sometimes even complicated and or contradictory, as so many of us are. Those are the folks who will reap something far more real than any kind of political conquest.